So it shouldn't come as any surprise that a band with a strong leaning towards all things historic, and with a lead singer that loves fencing, would finally come up with a song about swordsmanship, right? The harmony on that chorus, I mean, that has to be Bruce doing like an overlay voice on that. I'm sure it's not Steve Harris on that high note. He imagines himself slaying dragons or anything else as being bad. So you've got St. George and, he killed the dragon. And there's also a reference to David and Goliath. Although David didn't actually use a sword to kill Goliath. He used that slingshot thing, didn't he? But still, it's very much the perception of imagining himself as the righteous hero. The guy who saves the day, right? Times change very quickly, and you had to grow up early. A house in smoking ruins and the bodies at your feet. Well, it's kind of like the reality of life now kicking in. Times change, so time has moved on. So it sounds like this individual is, he's living during a period where there's extreme violence and war. Renaissance guitar work here. Because it was around that time, the 16th century, is when swords like the rapier would be invented. And they kind of changed everything in warfare. And that type of sword would remain prominent up until the 17th century when, of course, pistols and muskets and all these would then become the primary weapon on a battlefield. But in the 16th century, the rapier became this new elite weapon of choice. So I'm guessing it's that period. Yeah, I mean the twin guitars. So we continue with the story of this guy who's growing up in this world in the 16th century. The smell of resined leather, the steely iron mask, as you cut and thrust and parried at the fencing master's call. By the name of Ridolfo Capoferro. And he was a rapier expert, and he was from Siena,